Okay, you stay right there. Okay? And you can give me those papers and I'll read out the questions in my head. I'll read the questions and then I'll give you the answers. Don't say a word and don't show up this close. Okay, stay further back than that, and that's to avoid you getting harassed. Okay, because you're going to get harassed. Okay, 1 billion books sold, that's 1 billion fans. Okay. Okay, yeah, I wrote all those Stephen King books except for School Shooting. I did not write School Shooting. And the new ones that are coming out, one's called The Setup. It's actually on YouTube right now under The Thought. But the book is actually The Setup. It's part of my Carrie collection. And can't name the other ones just yet. The Risk Game is actually about to be released as well. All under Stephen King. I mean, the real one, folks. Fact. Okay. Question number 2. No, I am not in love with anybody on the planet at all. It's a show. Okay? They've been using me my whole life, so I figured I'd take the chance and use the times I shared with, I know like 2-3 million people, so times I shared with them and became creative about it. Yeah, I think I've answered this before quite a few times actually. But I got 7 masters. And no, not guys that tell me what to do. I have 1 in architecture, 1 in psychology, 1 in computers, 1 in music, 1 in law, 1 in business management as well. Okay, here's a difficult one to answer. I guess it's important for the world to know. I have no children whatsoever. All the women I have married took it upon themselves to get pregnant by other men. So, there's your answer. Okay, maybe they thought I'd be crazy. For real kind of thing. Aside from that, King Poulin. Yeah, King Poulin is shown overseas only because of the harassment I suffered around here. King Poulin is not aired in America at all. The making of is actually what is causing all the controversies and all that stuff. Also making me look like a real tough bad man. But like I said, it's not going to air here until here wants to pay. So if Hollywood doesn't want to pay, then Hollywood has no access. You actually have to go overseas to get that show. They're on season 5. I finished recording and producing season 7 not too long ago, and I'm actually going to start up again in August. That's for the King Poulin show. It takes over the world, let's see, in a cool kind of way. But he's always mad. And the other show, yeah, it's The Idiot. That is actually all on YouTube. All of it. You can access that on YouTube. There's 2 movies. It started off with the North Pole. I was bored and I figured let's write some comedy for people instead, making them laugh. And it's actually the closest character to whom I really am. Is actually that, not King Poulin. Yeah, it started off with the North Pole, and then with Gone Fishing, and it would have ended with just the cabin. That would have been 1, 2, 3, but the ratings were beautiful, so we made quite a few more. It's actually it's like a stand-up comedy, but instead of standing up and just talking to the people, I did it while I was doing exercise. I can't walk anymore as much as I used to be able to. I've been paralyzed by the car crash, and that's a fact. Yes, I see it's there. Next question there. But I've been like paralyzed. I suffered some permanent damage. I'll never be able to put my arms up straight or walk straight ever again, and that's because of the car crash in March a year and a bit ago. Okay, to finish off the question about the idiot, I'm going to finish that. That will get finished, and it will finish with at the cabin with the cabin. So it's the last place I actually have jokes about. I tried to make it as funny as possible and include as many people as I could, but that's how that one's gonna end actually. It's a one show where I don't kill myself. That's pretty cool. King Poulin, he dies in the end. Yes, he dies of something, and then the spook of the entire thing, because I am Stephen King, I like to write spooky stuff, is not going to be revealed until you see the last episode of season 10. That has 10 seasons, so there's 3 more seasons actually to produce. But like I said, America will have no access to that show until the entire show is done, and America decides to pay this time, because America likes to take and take and take and take and take and never pay out what they owe. What I know about Ukraine and I knew you'd be asking that eventually, huh? I think it's a communication problem, and that stems. We had the same problem here in Canada actually, with the French and English, and before that we had the same problem with the English, Christopher Columbus, and the First Nations, and so on and so forth. So it's not something that should scare us or scare them over there actually. I'm telling you, I don't think Putin wants anything to do with that piece of land anyways, and it's not him at all. So it's the people inside the country battling each other, kind of like the rebel that keeps harassing me around my home and stuff like that. Boy oh boy. As for that, like I'd add to that, I'd say since the dismantling of the Soviet Union back in the 90s, when we started getting afraid, Canada had a big part into dismantling that place, and that's why I don't understand why they're heading it that way right now anyways. But to tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you right now, Al-Qaeda became very, very famous and very big in their ways right after the dismantling of the Soviet Union. So by dismantling that territory there, we kind of spiked Al-Qaeda from grabbing territory and grabbing, the first level of people. As you know me, I don't speak to anybody if they're not prime minister or president or you right now. So those are facts and the truth. Anyhow, yeah, okay. No, the reason why I'm telling you I have no children is not because of what happened to me as a child. It's actually because I don't have any. I've been tied up. I was tied up as a child, and they did that because they thought I'd be a real psycho in real life. Like I said, I wrote my first book when I was 3, 4, 5 years old. That was it, and then The Stand came out a little later, but Cujo came out before The Stand. All those books there. I think there's another interview just on that that's on YouTube actually, and because I had written it down on paper, people started getting afraid and stuff like that. So they protected custody of me, because the world would have said, a child writing this stuff, like that's nuts, that's crazy. And I was afraid those were my real nightmares. And from the first book, it actually stemmed from the folks around me in my life, taking away the children one by one. So my best friends would always disappear, and I always wondered why. So I didn't want to put a face to a killer. I wanted to also try to make it a little funny. So that's why we came up with the clown. But there is a second book on its way, and that I will talk about because in the book we said he died, but what we didn't say is that he was switched bodies. And so he dies, they find the clown, and he's not the real it. So there's a book number 2, and that'll be out probably in a few years, because I don't know how to end it, and I don't want to turn it into a cop show. There's enough cop shows on television that I don't want to do the same thing with my stuff. That's also why I told the police in my neighborhoods that I don't play with you. I'll film your cars because I was given permission, but I don't really want to play with the law at all. I've been locked up for 15 years for crimes I did not commit, and that's their bobo now, not mine. My lawyers are all getting ready for that. So that's why there was a $250 million lawsuit, actually. Yes, he said $2,500. You funny. No, it's $250 million lawsuit, and that was on the city and the police, and I had added another bunch of people that tried to do me wrong. There was a lot of teams, like Hollywood teams that did independent work, and they're not from Hollywood actually, they're from different parts of the world, that tried to go ahead and make a movie without me knowing about it, and that's what caused a lot of the provocation. Now they provoke because they like to see me get mad. So it's like we're 5 again, I'd say. So it's very annoying, and someday I'm assuming they'll stop. Until then, there's not much I can do. On top of that, I'm just on top of that, I am actually working. Right now, there's some provocative stuff. Actually, some what I call alternative rock and roll. That's loaded up. I don't think it's accessible by everybody though. I'm not sure how that stuff actually works. But I'm on the DVD music album. I'm on DVD 27. So there's biggest repertoire on the planet is what I got. But that's not my biggest fun. My biggest fun for me is actually writing the books and stories. So the one I'm actually working on right now, it's called Open Text, and it's a spooky one, a very spooky one. There are quite a few unknown actors again. You know me, Stephen King. I've never won an award with any of my movies. I've had bestsellers. I've signed autographs everywhere. But as for the movie part itself, I've never really won an award, and if I have, I haven't heard about it. But in the movie land, I have not yet to win, so that's why I'm trying. For those who do know me, they know that was the fastest man on the planet. Since the car crash, I can't run no more. So, but nonetheless, it's been proven a good dozen times that I can run 400 meters under 40 seconds. Until somebody does that at the Olympics, I'm the fastest man on the planet. I didn't want to go actually to the Olympics because my uncle used to laugh about kids being like animals and being like dogs and stuff like that. And I won I think a good dozen gold medals, running the 400 meter and the 200 meter, but I never really had the big dream of going to the Olympics to win a medal, because it was more like a dog dog deserving his bone kind of thing. So that wasn't my plan. My plan was to stay in shape and be able to have a good heart, because heart failure does happen in our blood, and so I tried to stay healthy for that specific reason. So like I said, the movie I'm working on right now is Open Text. There's a little sample, it's just the opening of the movie. It starts like that actually. and it's going to top all the other books that I've written so far. And like I said, when you get to 1 billion books sold, you feel like a god. I'd say it's it's amazing. But hey, I'd say I'm proud. I did good work. I learned the language better than most people I've ever met that speaks English, and that's pretty cool because I see it here. Which language do I prefer? English will always be the language I prefer. It's a lot more respected, and it's more us, it's more me, it's more calm, cool, collected, polite, politically correct kind of thing. If you listen to some of my latest music, that's more the French guy in me that's that's telling the world to fuck off and stuff like that. Beep. So, anyways, well, who would I pick? It would still be my Crystal, or Jennifer Aniston actually. Aside from that, I don't want to play with anybody on the planet. I've been hurt by all the women from my past, so it's almost like the last one wanted to be worse to me than the one before, and the one before wanted to be worse to me than the worst before, and so on and so forth. And like I said, I had hired the last one to provoke me, and then she got such a kick out of it that the whole town got involved with it. And so I don't know how that's gonna go, but she was paid $125,000 to spend 5 years with me. On top of that, she will be receiving $2 million in royalties. That might take 5-10 years though, until I start promoting the stuff. Until then, there's not much I can do. I keep my schedule as busy as I possibly can, because we'd go crazy if we had nothing to do. I've been retired for the last 10 years, but I didn't really retire myself. I'm still working, still writing, still producing, still playing the guitar, not so much the piano anymore, because I am singing as well. Drink of water is actually my best accomplishment. On certain websites it's hit 250 million hits, and on YouTube is, for some reason, it's not taken off, but I'm sure over time it will. It's just going to be left there. I think the plan was to get 300 videos on the YouTube, but every time I try to collaborate with people, YouTube seems to take my share of the music off, so that I have to acknowledge or something like that. I'm not quite sure. YouTube has no rights with the copyright laws, and why they're doing that is, to me, it seems that they're trying to sell it and make money. I did sign a contract with YouTube stating that I would get 90% and they would only take 10% of all the proceeds, but I've yet to see a penny there, because the numbers aren't really climbing on there just yet. So we'll see what happens with that. Aside from that, yeah, that's pretty much my life. I'm single, I'm proud. I try to live the same way common people like to live. I don't like the way they live. Me, I'm a 100-hour-a-week guy, not 40. Being restrained to limits that stop me from eating is beyond me. It's not something I want to play with. Although if the world was any smarter, all they'd have to remember is that you do 20 years worth of work at $20 an hour and you're a millionaire, huh? That's all it takes. Aside from that, yeah, the new things are coming out. Don't get all afraid about it. If you do, it's actually supposed to spook you. Some of these things are supposed to make you, whoa, he did not just say that. Yeah, I did. It's like, why not? Wouldn't be entertainment the other way, would it? And so, yeah. Aside from that, like I said, I don't really want to talk about the prison time I did for committing no crime. I've never committed a crime, and that's a fact. I did do time for it. I'm going to try and believe that the city it was encased, and that's actually the only way I can actually move forward with my own life, is because if I was Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden, it would have been a good thing actually to have captured them that young. Um, I did research with them. I did some police work for them. I did quite a bit of things that involves the law, but not breaking it. That's not me. There are, okay, my films, there's a lot of breaking windows and monsters and stuff like that, that we had to break windows and stuff like that. But we were on a set, and permits I have, but until the city realizes it all completely, there's not much I can do. I will not be living in a city or visiting cities very much. I don't like to travel that much. I like to drive, and my island's big enough for me to drive all over. And I'm going to actually end up living out in the woods, away from the cities, because of, for me, provocation is against the law. And by provocating, I don't mean a hot, gorgeous babe like you dancing for me half naked. That's not the type of provocation I'm talking about. That's provocative, not provocation. There's a huge difference. Like I said, I feel too smart for this capital, and that's why I have to actually move myself out, because everybody's lost in different rumors. And well, when that happens, there's not much one can do but walk away. It would also show the raising awareness that I was talking about the abuse I suffered as a child and stuff like that. It would show the children that worst comes to worst, you move to the next town and you go ask help there. That works. That's what helped me. The fact that I went to Toronto, went to Montreal, went to Vancouver, went to New York, called up LA and stuff like that, is the reason why they haven't succeeded in killing me. Because I do have a broken spine, I do have a broken neck, I do have a fractured skull, more than one place. I was beaten by the law more than once, and tied up in white padded rooms and all that stuff. That stuff really did happen to me. So I was raising awareness on that, and on the fact that certain people had went too far into the raising of a child. I believe strictly in the positive reinforcement, but when the child gets out of hand, I do believe in a tap on the hand and raising your voice. So if that's something that's too harsh for the people, then cross your fingers. Because I'm telling you, a lot more people are a lot like me, and without that good kick in the ass, we end up causing trouble. So especially with children that have no daddies, that's the main problem, right? They attacked my fathers, they attacked me, all on subjects that they got totally wrong. Like I said, that petty is still loose. One day they might do the right thing and pick him up and give him a good 15 years inside, because that's what you deserve, right? That's the law, is the law. But that's not our entertainment. Aside from that, I got no more questions. That's pretty cool. Alright, let me just turn it off. Actually, let me add something else. Like I said, the new stuff is very provocative. It's not made to technically insult anybody specific, but I want to say one thing, and I hope she gets this message. I'm not one to travel, but to find out that the one I played with the longest is going to China and did not even ask me to open up for her, that broke my heart. And so I wrote some more provocative stuff about it, but it's no big deal. It's part of the world, it's part of the life. I'm not gonna let this city chew me up and spit me out. See, because I'm the big king in Hollywood, and I will always be, at least until I die. I'm the Gretzky. So like I was saying, the king is not gonna cry for that, huh? And I'm sure I'm gonna end up writing some more with some of these artists along the way. As soon as I have the lead on who's processing it all, because I don't like to play and have my music drowned out. That's like air guitar. I don't do air. I see it's actually me playing. Got it. So I'm sure I'll get the chance to play again. It's like I said, it's getting me up on stage is very spooky. There's been attempts on my life all the way through because of the rumors, and to put myself on a pedestal in front of 1 million people is actually quite spooky. So until I know that the crowd that's there is not going to start throwing bananas and apples and oranges and bricks at me, or even shoot me from afar, there won't be any performances at all. You're gonna have to catch them when I give them out. Simple like that. I toured everywhere. I've been out all over this country. I've been down all the way to Miami. I've been to Hollywood, all those places there. I went to Paris, France. I toured a little bit over there. Stuff like that. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope this answers all your questions, and if it does, right on. Actually, the music and the awareness started in 2003 with the Angel Heart album, and that went from hardly nothing to gold within a year and a half. There was no money made at all, but nonetheless, it went gold. Faster than all the other stuff. Aside from my the stand book, that went 500,000 copies within half a year. So I don't know how much money was made with those books at all. Aside from the last number I got, the company was at $15 billion. So it's pretty sad when you see me out there scrounging for change or food when a company lets me there to die, kind of thing, and they're trying to make some kind of show out of reality. I don't like that stuff. I use reality topics and write something off of it. I don't actually go with my cameras and try and take reality stuff, unless you're a cop car. Then I like cop cars and ambulances and fire trucks and stuff like that. So I put the cameras on every time something like that happens. It's also good in case I capture something that they haven't seen or something. So stuff like that. There's a lot more work. I tried to make something for Kane, the boss, the show on television. I never got an answer back. I don't know what exactly he's waiting for, but we'll see. And Criminal Minds is another show that I kind of wrote something for. If I show up there, right on. If I don't, I'm sure we can figure out where we can slip those scripts. And the awareness was all about actually the child abuse and how we should raise our children and how all this stuff should happen. These cameras aren't fair right now. I have, like, if you checked out, you can see them. Wow, they're flashy green, and this camera is, I can see right over here. It doesn't do me justice. So I don't know, maybe that was another kind of protection thing tapped in on this camera or something. So everything that you see, kind of this face here, and the face changes a little when I take off the hair and stuff like that, like you see in the Idiot Show, the North Pole and stuff. So it started off like that, and now we're at, like I said, I'm at 27 music albums. There's some classical, there's some better stuff than Beethoven, there's all kinds. So like I said, I hope it answers all your questions and takes some of the fear away of spooky. It used to make you laugh, and it still does, so right on. See? So as long as it makes people laugh, I'm gonna keep doing it. So like I said, I hope it answers all your questions, and if you have more, don't be afraid. I don't bite. Peace out.
Peace out.